The courtroom was silent, until a single voice said the one sentence Kody Brown never expected to hear: "Your Honor." It changes everything. And in that instant, every eye in the room darted another way. Christine froze. Janelle clutched the bench, and even the breath caught in Robyn's throat. Because the figure stepping forward wasn't supposed to exist, who do you think this secret witness is? Before the truth unfolds. It hit me the moment I walked into the courtroom, that silent, thick pressure that only comes when life is going to change in some profound way. The wooden benches creaked softly, the overhead lights hummed, and the crisp scent of old paper mixed with cold air from the vents. Everyone was already seated, but no one said a word. Even the rustle of a coat sounded too loud. Kody sat near the front, his shoulders drawn tight and his jaw stiff as stone. His chin was raised, his back was straight, but the tension at the edges of his eyes told a different story. Christine sat a few rows behind him with her hands clasped together, like holding her breath inside her palms. Janelle didn't sit. She stood by the aisle, arms folded over, face unreadable, and Robyn. She had her tissue, ready before one word was spoken. It was not a routine hearing. Everybody knew it: the judge, the lawyers, and even the audience that sat in stiff silence, the air thick with expectation. Because today there would be testimony, and nobody knew who it was coming from. Eh. The judge strode in, his feet marking out a slow, authoritative pace. His glasses, right? He sat and began to look around the room as if he could see right through all the unspoken lies he had sitting in front of him. His gavel came down once, a sharp, echoing crack. The room fell silent. Okay, this is where the truth starts to bleed through the cracks. Kody's lawyer stood first. A tall man in a polished suit with a matching, bright smile, the kind that oozes confidence even when the ground shakes under his feet. "Your Honor," he started off, "we are ready to proceed, but we are still unaware as to who today's witness is going to be." Kick. A ripple went through the courtroom. Christine looked down, Janelle blinked slowly, steady but unsure. And Robyn mouthed a silent prayer, her fingers trembling around the tissue. The judge nodded. The identity of the witness has been sealed for protection. They will come forward when called. Until then, all parties are to remain respectful of the process. Kody exhaled sharply, half frustration, half fear. But then he glanced back, scanning the rows of seats. And for a moment, I could see that something inside him falter. Maybe he was searching for the flash of betrayal. Maybe he was trying to guess which thread in his life had finally snapped. K. The bailiff came forward and handed the judge a small folder, thin, plain, but sealed with a red sticker. The judge didn't open it, just set it beside him and cleared his throat. "Kek, we start with a review of the evidence submitted." The screens on each side flickered on. A bank statement. An outdated transfer, something with Kody's name linked to a fund he said didn't exist. Murmurs broke out at once, hushed, confused, disbelieving. Christine's eyes widened. Janelle finally sat down, her face pale. "Eh?" Robyn tightened her grasp around the tissue, but the strangest reaction came from Kody. He didn't look surprised, not even shocked. He looked angry, his jaw clenched, and for a moment, his fist tightened on the table. His lawyer leaned toward him, whispering something meant to calm him, but Kody pulled away with a stiff shake of his head. Whatever was on the screen, he already knew it existed, and that alone could make the room more tense. Sometimes the truth frightens the one who knows it best. The judge looked at Kody. "Mr. Brown, do you recognize this document?" Kody swallowed hard. "I stc sub 15 censure." Hard. I don't remember," he muttered. "Sep." Christine let out the tiniest broken breath, the kind one hears only when a person realizes that an old wound never healed. Janelle looked away, eyes brimming with the disappointment she had been trying to ignore. For years, the judge leaned back, Very well, we proceed. The bailiff stepped toward the back door, the one used only for protected witnesses. A completely different tension swept through the room. You could almost feel the heartbeat of every person present rise at the same time. The door clicked, slowly opened. Okay. A shadow formed in the frame. Robyn covered her mouth. Christine leaned forward. Janelle froze mid-breath. And Kody's face turned sheet white because the silhouette, it wasn't small or timid or unsure. Okay? It was someone who walked with a purpose. A person who knew exactly what they came to say. Okay. Someone who had been waiting a long time to step into this moment. The figure stepped inside and the entire courtroom leaned in. And then the witness lifted up their head. And that's when I realized everything Kody was afraid of, was standing right in front of him. Hank. When the witness finally settled into the stand, the tension shifted from heavy silence to a strange electric anticipation. The judge adjusted his glasses for the second time, again studying the witness with an expression that revealed nothing. Neutral, patient, almost too calm for the tornado he knew was about to begin. Kang. Kody hunched forward, eyes narrowed, trying to work out how this person slipped through every wall he'd built. His face twisted in a disbelieving scowl, the kind that makes a man question whether the life he so carefully curated was finally unraveling in public. Kang. The judge spoke gently. State your name for the record. The witness didn't look at the judge. The eyes stayed latched on Kody, as if every unanswered question of the past was rising to the surface in that single stare. Yuk, my name is confidential for safety, the witness said. But I'm here to tell the truth. Kea. A murmur of whispers swept through the courtroom. Christine tightened her grip on her seat. Janelle's breath hitched. Kang. Robyn flinched as though she'd been struck. Kody's lawyer stood up immediately. Objection, Your Honor. We can't accept anonymous testimony. This is most irregular. The judge raised a hand, silencing him. The court has approved protective status. Continue. Kody's attorney slumped back down, defeated by the initial move. Ka. The witness leaned into the microphone, voice steady, painfully calm. Kien. I worked closely with the Brown family for several years. They said, during the period when the financial and emotional strain on the wives was at its peak. Kat, you could feel everyone's pulse quicken. Christine blinked hard in an attempt not to show recognition. Janelle's face went pale. Robyn looked as if she was about to collapse. Kody, however, shifted uncomfortably. Again, the truth has always shaken the one who tried to hide it. Kank, the witness unclipped a small binder from their bag, a well-worn, overused book whose edges were dull. They placed it carefully on the stand, almost ceremoniously. Kane, this, the witness said, is what he never expected would be seen again. The judge nodded. Proceed. Kang, the witness took a deep breath. There were accounts, multiple accounts that the family wasn't aware of. Funds moved quietly. Promises made to some wives, while secretly redirected to benefit others. The room fell silent. Christine's hand flew to her mouth. Janelle stared at the witness as if she had stopped breathing. King Robyn's eyes were wide with terror. She shook her head gently, whispering, No, no, that's not true. It's not what it looks like. Kody's hand came slapping onto the table before anyone could react. That's a lie, he shouted. The judge banged his gavel. Mr. Brown, you will stay quiet or be removed from this courtroom. Okay? Kody's chest rose and fell as he worked to control himself. Behind him, Robyn reached out, her whispered words ending in, Kody, please, don't. But he pulled his arm away. Okay? The witness was unflappable, entirely unruffled by Kody's outburst. In my job, they continued, I was required to track contributions. Who earned what, who saved what, who sacrificed what, and which accounts were secretly controlled by Mr. Brown. Christine turned away, heartbroken. Janelle wiped away a tear she hadn't expected. Hey, Robyn shook again, as if the ground had been ripped out from under her. The witness flipped open the binder. Page after page revealed handwritten notes, printed ledgers, emails, and cross checks. The judge leaned forward. Are these genuine? Yay. I created them, said the witness. Gasps filled the air. Some truths don't need permission. They demand exposure. Hey, the witness continued, voice trembling only slightly now. Christine was told there wasn't enough money for Truly's surgery. AKA, she was told that she couldn't build on Coyote Pass. Meri was told to wait because the funds were tight. But during those same months, Mr. Brown transferred thousands into the account he shared only with Robyn. Robyn burst into tears. I didn't know that, she cried. He told me. He told me it was family money. He said the others agreed. Christine closed her eyes, and tears escaped despite her fortitude. Kana, Janelle's head bowed in heartbreak. Even the judge stopped, looking markedly disturbed. Ke? Kody finally stood up, his finger pointing at the witness in outrage. Ikant, you don't get to destroy my family with half-truths. You don't know everything. You don't. The judge slammed the gavel again. Sit down, Mr. Brown. Kody sat, his breath coming in sharp bursts, his body trembling with rage. The witness didn't look at him. Instead, they opened a final envelope, thin, white, and marked with an official seal. Oh no, Christine whispered. Janelle covered her lips. Robyn curled into herself and shook. The judge motioned. What is that? The witness picked up the envelope. It's the document Kody never wanted anyone to see. Lila, and it explains exactly where the missing money went. And who helped him hide it. Kanek, Kody's face turned as white as snow. With one collective motion, the courtroom had leaned forward as the witness placed the envelope on the stand and began slowly to tear it open. Inside, it contained a name. Kinna, a name that would make Christine gasp. Janelle rises to her feet. Kyo and Robyn break down in tears because the person involved was not who anyone expected. Kinnick. When the witness tore open the envelope, even the judge seemed to brace himself. Paper slid out a stack so thin it shouldn't have held the power to shake lives, but the way the witness handled it, gently, almost reverently, made it feel like dynamite in their hands. The witness took a steady breath. Your Honor, this is the document that traces the funds. Mr. Brown diverted, and it names the individual who knowingly assisted him. Christine leaned forward, her eyes sharp, with a mix of fear and the desperate need for answers. Eh? She steadied herself against the bench. Robyn grasped her chest, breathing unevenly. Kody swallowed hard, his jaw muscles twitching violently. The witness unfolded the first page. The name in black ink felt like a bullet fired in slow motion. Yuck! Everyone held their breath. The judge adjusted his glasses and read aloud. Yo? The company signer and approving party is listed as. Christine let out a loud gasp. Impossible, she whispered. Janelle shook her head. Her voice was almost a whisper. No, please no. Han. Robyn's lips quivered uncontrollably, her tears streaming down. Because the name on the page wasn't an outsider. It wasn't a stranger, it wasn't a distant cousin, it was someone inside the family. Someone in whom the wives could confide. Someone who had access. The person who had the authority to sign without any questions. The judge read the name again, slowly, this time as if to make sure the letters weren't rearranging themselves in shock. Meri Brown, the courtroom erupted, real gasps, cries, whispers, a storm of unbelief. Christine's hands flew to her mouth. No. Meri? No, Janelle staggered back into her seat. Why would she do this? Robyn stared at the name in pure horror. She hated me. Why would she sign money into our account? And Kody? His reaction wasn't one of shock. It was something far more haunting. Rectification. He didn't blink. He didn't gasp. He didn't look confused. He simply closed his eyes. Like a man who had been dreading this very moment. When truth arrives, some people break. Others reveal they were already broken. Cat, the witness continued, voice steady but heavy with emotion. De Ballion, Meri was asked to sign numerous authorizations during the financial restructuring period. Mr. Brown told her these forms were necessary, one to protect the family funds from legal scrutiny. What she didn't know was that the funds were being funneled into the exclusive account tied to Robyn. Christine looked shattered. She trusted him. After everything, she still trusted him. He used her, Janelle whispered. Again, Robyn shook her head desperately. I didn't know. I swear, I didn't know. I thought it was all for the family. Why would she sign something that helped me? Kody finally opened his eyes and spoke, quietly, dangerously, because she believed in me. The judge raised an eyebrow. Mr. Brown, you will control your statements. Can't. But Kody plunged on, with a bitterness in his voice that he made no attempt to conceal. I can't. She always believed in me. She always wanted to be in my good graces. You think she'd hesitate? You think she wouldn't sign anything I put in front of her? She would have signed a blank page if I told her it was best for the family, Christine recoiled. You used her, Janelle added. You took advantage of her emotional vulnerability, Robyn whispered. Kody, what did you do? Kody snapped. I did what I had to do to keep this family afloat. The witness calmly lifted one hand. There's more. The room froze again, because if the last revelation was a tremor, eh, this next one felt like the earthquake building underneath it. The witness turned the page. This document also shows that the authorization Meri signed wasn't just for transferring funds. They paused, scanning the next line. It was also used to open a secondary account, one that Mr. Brown managed under a different name. Christine stared in shock. A hidden account? The witness nodded. Janelle's voice cracked. How much was in it? Ken. The witness flipped another page. This account received monthly deposits from the primary family fund. Totaling over, Kody shot up so fast his chair toppled backward. Stop, he roared. Yeah, his voice cracked through the courtroom like thunder. Fear never shouts to protect the truth, it shouts to hide it. The judge rapped his gavel 3 times, Mr. Brown. Sit down or I will have you removed. But Kody wasn't listening anymore. He stared at the witness in a rage so sharp it could have cut glass. Yak, you don't know the full story, he hissed. You don't know why I did what I did. Christine stood abruptly. Then tell us. Tell us why Meri was dragged into something she doesn't understand. Janelle added. Tell us why you hid money while we struggled to pay for basic needs. Robyn's voice cracked. Tell them, Kody. Please. The judge slammed the gavel again. Kody Brown, sit down. Kody sat finally, chest heaving, but his eyes stayed locked on the witness, with a hatred in them that even had the bailiff inching closer. Note, the witness took a deep breath. There is one last piece, they said softly. A document even Meri didn't know she signed. Christine came a step nearer. What does it say? The witness looked at the page, on everything about their expression changed. Fear, real fear, they whispered. Ew, it shows the true purpose of the hidden account and who was meant to receive the money. The courtroom leaned forward. Every heartbeat seemed to stop. The witness swallowed hard and ready to divulge the name. But before they could, a scream tore through the courtroom. Everyone turned. And what they saw was something that no one was prepared for. At first, the scream didn't sound human. It ripped through the courtroom, sharp and panicked, full of a terror no one had expected. Chairs scraped, papers flew, and even the judge jolted upright, eyes wide. It was Robyn. It was Robyn. She shot to her feet so fast the tissue in her hand fell like snow. Her face had gone pale, ghostly white, her breath coming in broken, choking gasps. No! Don't say it! Please don't say it. Kody twisted toward her instantly. Robyn, sit down. But she didn't. She staggered backwards, knocking into the bench behind her, clutching at her chest like each breath was slicing her from the inside. Christine stood frozen, hands trembling. Janelle covered her mouth, eyes wide with the fear she didn't even understand yet. Ka. The judge pounded his gavel. Court will remain in order, but the order had already shattered. K. The witness remained seated, but his hands now shook, the paper trembling between his fingers. Panic in the room was a wildfire, uncontrollable and fast spreading. Robyn shook her head vigorously. I didn't know. I didn't know. I swear. I swear. I swear. Kody stood beside her, but kept a step away, his jaw tight. He wasn't consoling her. He wasn't holding her. He wasn't whispering reassurance like a loving husband. He was watching her, studying her, almost waiting. Sometimes, the loudest breakdown belongs to the person who knows that the truth is about to land on them. "And help Mrs. Brown," the judge snapped to the bailiff. You. But Robyn stumbled backward from the bailiff, grasping the railing as if the whole courtroom was whirling around her. Tears streamed down her face as she looked at the witness, begging silently. Christine whispered harshly, "What is she hiding?" Janelle's breathing was becoming uneven. Something big. Robyn doesn't panic like this unless she knows what's coming. The witness finally spoke in a thin, shaky voice, Mr. Brown made the secret account in the name of an alias. The money wasn't merely redirected. It was set aside for a certain someone. The judge leaned forward. And who was that? The witness hesitated. Pain, fear, conflict all contending across their features. Then they whispered, the money was for the eldest children of Robyn. The courtroom erupted. Christine gasped loudly, stumbling back a step. Janelle's knees buckled, and she grabbed the bench for support. Ken? One man in the back row swore under his breath. Reporters frantically scribbled. And Robyn finally collapsed into the front bench, sobbing openly. No, no, it wasn't like that, she cried. Kody told me it was family money. He said everyone agreed. He said, Christine cut her off sharply, her voice shaking. He lied to all of us and protected your kids with OUR money? Robyn covered her ears. I didn't know. I didn't ask for this. Janelle came forward, tears breaking through despite her resolve. All this time we thought you two were just closer, but you let our kids struggle. While yours were secured? Robyn cried harder. I didn't know. I didn't. Kody suddenly slammed his hand onto the table. Enough. This is getting twisted. All of them turned to him, their eyes full of betrayal, disbelief, and long-buried anger. Christine's voice cracked. Our daughter needed surgery. We chose cheaper treatments because the fund was low. You remember that conversation, Kody? Because I do. Janelle added, voice trembling with rage. Ew. And my boys lived paycheck to paycheck at college, while you hid money for Robyn's kids? Robyn sobbed uncontrollably. I didn't know. I didn't know. Kody's jaw clenched, his shoulders hiking in anger. I did what I had to do to protect my family, Christine shot back. W.E. were your family too, your wives. Your children, Janelle whispered. Kody's voice rose. Robyn's kids needed stability. Their father wasn't present. Christine screamed. That is not our responsibilities. The judge slammed the gavel so hard, the room jumped. Order! Order now! Silence fell like broken glass, sharp, dangerous. Even the strongest truth feels unbearable when it finally hits the surface. The judge looked at the witness. Is there anything further? The witness swallowed. Yes. Yell, yell. They lifted another page, this time a smaller one, in handwritten text. This is a note. Mr. Brown signed. It clarifies the long-term purpose of the hidden account. It says that the funds were meant to support the future relocation and stability of one specific child. Robyn froze mid-sob. Christine whispered, "Which child?" The witness's lips quivered. Janelle's breath caught. Ken Kody stared at them in a fury that seemed almost scared. The witness shut her eyes for a moment, then whispered, "It was 4. Dayton." Robyn let out a broken scream. Christine stumbled backward like she'd been struck. Janelle's face drained completely. The judge's head jerked forward. "Dayton?" "As is in." The witness nodded. "Yes, Robyn's son." And then they added, barely audible, "Ooh. But that's not all." The note explains why Kody did it. The courtroom froze. The air changed heavier, darker. Count Cody's face twisted with raw panic. Christine stepped forward. "Why? For what possible reason?" "Okay?" The witness looked at the next line of the note, and their eyes filled with dread. "Okay?" They whispered. Cody wasn't saving money for Dayton's future. He was preparing for someone else's return. Pain. The judge blinked. Robyn gasped. Christine grabbed the bench for support. Janelle whispered, "Return? Who?" "And Kody?" "K." He shut his eyes like a man watching a bomb tick towards zero. Kenk. The witness opened his mouth to utter the name. "Kadikoli nale zaljichkali svetla vi sudni sini." "Can't," and went out. When the lights snapped back on, the courtroom erupted with scattered whispers and nervous glances. People rubbed their arms, as if the sudden darkness had chilled them from within. Even the judge looked uneasy, tapping his gavel not for authority, but as if reassuring himself the room was real. "Hey." Robyn was curled forward, hugging herself, her tears streaking silently. Christine stood rigidly, struggling to steady her breathing. Yet Janelle's hands were trembling as she clutched the bench, as she clutched in Kody. And Kody. Kody sat perfectly still, shoulders stiff, his jaw clenched so tightly it looked like it would snap. "Hey." He cleared his throat, pale and shaken from the blackout. "I'm ready to continue," they whispered. "Cal." The judge nodded, but there was fear in his eyes now. "Proceed and tell us what the note says." "Ka." The paper was held between the witness's trembling fingers. "Ka." It says the hidden account wasn't just for Dayton's future. The money was for securing safety and relocation for someone Kody expected to return. Christine frowned. "Return? Who is returning?" "Ka." The witness hesitated, eyes darting towards Kody. Kody believed someone dangerous might re-enter the family's life. Someone who could disrupt everything. The room leaned in, everyone caught in the suspended breath before devastation. Robyn whispered, "No. No, no, please. Don't say it." Janelle's voice shook. Who did he think was coming back? Kang. Kody finally spoke, his voice low and raw. "You don't know the whole story. You don't know what I was trying to protect." But his voice cracked not with anger, but with a fear he'd never shown before. Sometimes the truth doesn't destroy a family. It is the secrets that were meant to protect them. The witness took a slow breath. Kody believed that Robyn's ex-husband might return. The room froze. Christine's mouth parted in surprise. Janelle sharply gasped. "K?" Robyn's eyes widened. It was a look so shattered, so terrified, she could barely form words. He wouldn't. "He would never," she whispered. "We left that life behind. Kody told me we were safe." "He promised." The witness lowered the paper. The note says that he feared retaliation. Legal retaliation. Personal retaliation. "He thought that if your past came back, Robyn, your children would be the ones in danger." Christine swallowed. "So he took money from all of us to protect them?" Janelle whispered. "Without telling us? Without giving our kids the same safety?" Robyn shook, sobbing softly. "I didn't know. I didn't know Kody did this for them. I didn't. I didn't want him to hide money." Kang. Kody rubbed his face with shaky hands, for the first time looking truly defeated. Hang, I thought I was doing the right thing, he said hoarsely. I thought, if ever anything happened, if someone ever came after us, I needed a plan, a backup, a way to keep them safe. Christine's voice cracked, a mix of hurt and fury. And what about our children? Why weren't you afraid for them? Why weren't they worth protecting? Janelle added, eyes brimming with tears. King, you let us think you were broke, as you quietly built safety for one part of the family. Kody's voice shook. I didn't mean to choose. But Christine cut him off sharply. You died, choose. You always did. The courtroom fell silent. The pain hung heavy in the air. The witness continued softly. That note. It wasn't about malice, it was fear. They paused. But fear doesn't excuse the betrayal. Can. The judge slumped back and sighed heavy. Oh, this is no longer only a financial dispute. It's a breach of trust that fractured an entire family. The verdict I deliver today will not be about punishing emotion, but about restoring what was broken. Kody's breath hitched. Can't. Robyn cried harder. Christine wiped her eyes but remained standing, resolute. Janelle's eyes dropped, heartbroken but resolute. The judge folded his hands. Before I deliver the verdict, I want each party to say one final statement. Christine stepped forward first. Her voice was soft and steady, but drenched in years of hurt. Ken, I just wanted honesty, she said. I didn't need perfection. I didn't need wealth. I just needed truth. And that's what I never got. Heartbreak isn't when someone lies, it's when you finally learn why they lied. King. Next, Janelle took a breath. Her voice was trembling. I spent years giving everything to this family. I never asked for more than fairness. I just want accountability. For all of us. Robyn wiped her tears away, nearly unable to speak. I didn't know. I never wanted this. I wish I had seen the signs sooner, finally. Kody. Slowly, he got to his feet and stood there, seeming to carry far more regrets than excuses. I tried to protect my family, he whispered. I didn't choose one child over another, I chose survival. Maybe it was wrong, maybe it was selfish, but I did it because I was afraid. And I don't know how to fix what I broke. The judge nodded solemnly. He raised the gavel. The court finds. A collective held breath. Christine's hands tightened. Janelle's chest rose sharply. Robyn closed her eyes. Kody bent his head. The judge brought the gavel down, but before the verdict could leave his lips, a voice from the back of the courtroom shouted, Ooh, you don't have the full truth yet. Every head whipped around. A second witness, someone nobody knew, was even in the building. Came forward. The real truth, it seemed, was yet to be unraveled. Who do you think this second witness is? And what truth are they carrying? Tell me in the comments.